Hello guys, I want to talk about a very important topic today. It's tonguing, and especially in the beginning it is very important. I would take it as far as to say in the beginning you need to use your tongue on every single note when you play. So if you play the scale, when you practice, I mean, if you're following phrases of the rags or whatever, then you do whatever is needed. But when you practice, the tongue creates the clarity. It creates also the pitch, because when you use the tongue there is a tension before hitting two. You're building up the tension, and therefore the pitch will come exactly like you want. That's why we don't blow like we blow. So you put the tongue when you start anyway for the rest of your life. But in the beginning when you play, use the tongue on all notes. Whatever you play, let's say you have an alanka, you hear? It's very clear also because it's very rhythmical. So we are increasing our sense of rhythm, making our clarity, making the sharpness. And then you use a variation. You play without tongue. So for example, if you play this scale, you might want to do variation without tongue. So there is no tongue, right? But again, when we start, there is always tongue. So what tongue do? We do a kind of a 2-2 in the front. You practice very short 2-2-2 just to have the rhythm. Yeah? Then you try to make it a bit longer. 2-2-2-2-2-2. Then you also go to the advanced way of using your tongue. It's more like a ru 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 ru, or a, it's very soft, it's in the back. When you do the 2, you're hitting the tongue in the front, and that means you're cutting the air. So there is a space between one note and the other. You hear that? Da 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 da. There is a space in between, because the tongue is there to disturb it. But if you do more like a ru 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 ru, you're just kind of disturbing the flow of air by hitting the tongue in the top of your mouth. You see that, you hear that there is very less gap between the notes compared to yeah. So that is very good to practice on one note, just to get that flow in, to get that nice sound, continuous sound. Then of course you apply it in between notes, like still ru ru ru. It's not, it's instead of, which is also nice. I'm not saying you should never do that. Like, it's an expression, right? One is more sharp and one is more soft. But that softness is usually, preferred in the general kind of presentation, because we like a nice, beautiful, soft sound, right? More than the sharp, hard one. So that's on the this is called single tonguing. But the thing I did just in the first part of this video, the first few seconds of this video, is called double tonguing. It's instead of 2 2 2 2 2, we'll do 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku. So we have 1 2 in the front, then ku in the back, 2 ku 2 ku. This is the tongue. 2 ku 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 2 ku, like a train, right? First 2 2 2 2, then 2 ku 2 ku. The thing is, the single tongue will only take us as far. It will only take us so far. So if you use the single tongue again, 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. Single tongue, 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. But then there is a limit. If we want to go faster, we can see, like, if you have a string, you go like down only, down 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 down. There is a certain limit till you start to go down 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 down. On the you hit on the way back also. 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2 ku 2. So the thing is, we need to start very slow to get the sound really out there, because it's easy to hear people go like, I mean, it's difficult to do, but meaning like it's very fast or nothing. Like, you have a comfort zone. Normally you have a comfort zone in your muscle, like like, okay, that feels good. But if you want to go slower, it's not working. So better start slow. And also it's very common to hear that it's a lot of air, but there's no note. It sounds more like, it's more percussive, right? But we also want the note, right? So we have to start 2 ku 2 ku. Because on the ku we need to push the air out. Two ku 2 ku. One good exercise is to play 8 on each note. We want even. We want a sound like 2 2 2 2, but we're doing 2 ku 2 ku, right? We want the same sound, the same richness of sound. And also even, we don't want then, of course, you use the metronome, you start to speed up. Make sure you drink a lot of water, because we need to be you know, we're moving the tongue a lot. We cannot be dry. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. This is 16. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Then this is 8. The thing is, it's also different quality if you go very high, which is usually easier because because it's more kind of tight. But if you go, the thing is, it needs more air, right? And it takes longer to get started, the bass notes. But the higher is more shrill and immediate, so you can hear the notes more clear. It's more responsive. This takes a bit of time, you know, especially if you have bigger flute. This is G. But I think you know by now. After 11 minutes. You should know. Use your G flute and follow along. So that's the double tongue. You can even shift in between the single tongue and double tongue, like 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. Try to get the nice even sound, like you cannot even hear it. Difference. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. Play 4 on each note. Tuku 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 tuku. That's one thing you practice. Next is 2 on each note. That is tuku 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 tuku. On each tuku you move. Then you have also 1 on each note, which means tuku 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 tuku. Tuku 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 tuku. Anyway, so you can do a lot with this. It's just a basic introduction video. I hope you enjoyed it. 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 and tuku 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 2. Play fast and enjoy. Ciao.